It's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard with lots of paint colors, and I'm thinking about doing a ring pour, and that is the way I'm going to start. But I might do it a slightly different way. I might make one ring pour cup. I might transfer, that goes in the bucket. That was not clean enough. That looks bad, but it's clean. That's my ring pour cup. This is my new Anita's Black Metallic, which is way gray, but I want to use it as the beginning of my ring pour cup. This is my OXO omelet turning spatula. I think I'm going to spread a layer of that all over my canvas and see what happens. I keep these two things together because the rest of my surfaces are not level. And when I fill that full of paint over here and put it aside, then it's nice. Hey, it's also nice to clean that out. Wow. Excuse me while I wipe out my dusty tray. Everything is covered with pollen here. This is my shovel. I'm planning on dipping my shovel into my little receptacle. A reservoir, I call it, and using that. So we'll see what happens with all that. I've got crib notes aside, I've got tools handy. It doesn't matter what order I put these in, because I think I just want to try something really out there. I want some gold next to that green, because I like it. Wow, that's weird. Okay, well, occasionally the wrong top gets put on, but that's kind of neat. Actually, that's quite the effect. I had a class yesterday, and things don't always go back the way they start when I have students, especially ones who have never painted before. She did so well, by the way. It's really nice to entertain here. I'm just going for the strangest combinations I can think of because I really want to have something strange come out of this. And as I go along, I'll only get so much paint toward every ring. So I might as well get down and get funky as I go along. I'm not trying to make any particular sense. A lot of these, this is a turquoise color shift from Folk Art, not coming out of my bottle well at all. Come out. Yes, if I force that in, it will agitate the paint within, and then we will have a different effect entirely. This is an Anita's Metallic, which I usually refer to as Pearl. This is a Prussian blue. I don't think it matters what brand it is. You just have to eventually get the consistency to be like that of honey. I use GAC 800 religiously in all of my paint colors because that is what keeps it from cracking when I decide I like a pattern or a design and it's thick. I did separate all these colors out because I had shaken them. I am not sure what I'm going to get, but I'm sure it's going to be interesting. I don't think I used nearly enough of this. That is an Art Minds Mystique. It's very turquoise, deep, deep, mysteriously turquoise. I'm sure that if I want something later, I've got it all at my disposal. And I can always do another artwork. I've been cleaning up and mixing paint, and I'm ready to go. Pretty close anyway. Alright, so here's my 16 by 20 inch canvas. And here is the Anita's Black. And a bug that does not belong. Go away, bug. Yes, you're still alive. Not for long, though. Bye-bye. Go away. Thank you. I've never tried this particular thing before. I like the Anita's because it's actually relatively inexpensive. It's like 8 ounces for $4, which is pretty cool. This is my OXO omelet turning spatula. This is the greatest paint spreading tool. Nobody's ever disagreed with me yet who's purchased one. Everybody's been ecstatic. I recommend it. It does not matter if we see a little canvas through. The canvas could be white and we could just use the... Yeah, I see that plastic. I think it's still stapled to the back. Anyway, we can see a little canvas through, but that's okay because we're going to ring pour up on top of this. And we're only using this layer of wet paint as a tool to slide. Also, my particular penchant is to use something called an edge catcher, which is the Artist's Loft protective layer on the front of a 16 by 20 inch pack of canvases. Value pack. I think they're 5 for $20. You can almost always find a 40% off coupon. I wouldn't buy them without it, to tell you the truth. I'm just that way. I think I have ancestors from Scotland and I'm proud of it. Anyway, I got ancestors from all over the place. I'm an American mutt, so that's my story. and I'm sticking to it. I'm just making chatter while I cover this mostly. Now, I didn't make myself a cup to scoop out of, but I might do that. And I think the weirder the better as far as these go. And I may ring pour a few. I'm not getting any of that gold, and I don't think I will be getting any of that gold. But I might change. It might change. I can always add gold, and that's actually not a bad idea. Now, I'm not swiveling the canvas, and I'm not rotating the cup. I'm just pouring, which is probably different than if I try and rotate. Yeah, a little bit. I want some purple in there, and I've got some purple, and I'm going to use it. I don't know if I can get it to come out next or not. If you swivel your cup around, you're going to get a ring no matter what. If you just pour straight down, you're still going to get rings because it has to go somewhere out in a concentric circle. I'm going to try, there's the gold I wanted. Let's try and get some of that in the center. So as you can see, I don't do conventional ring pours, as in one in the middle is not going to work for me. I want some magenta, I believe, and that's my magenta. I'm just going to put some of that in there with the gold that I was so desirous of. Oh, this is my mica gold, by the way. Mica gold and the oxo omelet turning spatulas and my book called Because I Can are all on the Amazon link underneath the video, underneath Show More. When you open up Show More, you will find a link in blue. And if you use it, you'll have to open a list once you get there. Yes, that's the color I wanted in there for sure. Let's just... We don't know what this is going to turn out like because I'm going to be obviously tilting the canvas to move the paint, as in I usually do. Do I want anything else in there? I might. I have some great Art Minds iridescent purple. And nobody to tell me I shouldn't do it. So that's, you know, one of these times I could just leave this like this, for sure. I want more of that magenta. I'm not getting much of it. What else do I want? I want some lighter blue. And I think I'm going to give myself permission to just put whatever I want in there. We're going to have a lot of paint. I've been a little bit naughty as far as giving myself permission to use extra amounts of paint recently, but since it's just me and you, I figure I can get away with it. You won't yell at me. Too bad. Although I do love your comments. You guys crack me up. Thank you very much for making my day all the time with your wonderful appreciation and your sense of humor. Definitely make this a lot of fun. And thank you all for the contributions that have kept me painting all this time. There is always a contest running, by the way, that you can find in the last 20 seconds of the end screens of this video, if you look for it. That's cool. I wonder what this is going to be like when I try and tip this. Okay, this is one of my edge catchers. I don't think we're going to hurt any pretty accidental patterns by doing anything. Maybe we'll just leave that for the minute. And I've got chain, and I like to use bamboo skewers. And the ball chain makes a nice loop that you can drag things with. I'm really tempted to go ahead and use the paint I have left. Use some more of that magenta, if it'll come out, and some more of that gold. And I really love my green gold. I didn't get enough of that by any stretch. Do I want some of that anywhere? Maybe right there. Just because I can. That's the name of my book. I think I mentioned that. I know. I'm a little OCD, but it's okay. I learned to love it, especially when I'm cleaning house. That's a pretty rare occurrence. My husband does the cooking, and if you know anybody in Spring Hill who wants to trade art for house cleaning services, I got a lot of art and a lot of, well, I can't say I have a lot of house to clean, but I have a house to clean. And I don't expect I'm necessarily going to be the one doing it. I may just decide at a certain point in time that I like this and I don't want to tip anymore. I'm just going to keep an eye on what's happening and give myself some more permission to to add some things I like. I could also take my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatulas, which I'm known to do, and just give myself permission to do something different, because you don't have to do the same thing. I mean, just because I started as a ring pour doesn't mean it's going to finish that way. It may encourage me to stop right where I'm at. I'd like some of that paint to go down over the edge, and fortunately it comes off the spatula really nicely. That looks pretty neat. I could probably put some greenery at the bottom and call that a flower arrangement. It's been known to happen, actually. I like the gold. I'm not as sure about this, where's my skewer, about that dot of green as I once was, but I can integrate anything I want by tweaking it with a skewer. And I think I want to try, do I have any metallic red? Oh, it's such a different color. And it's such a Floetrol different color. Gotta remember to always shake my paint, and I don't. I got 5 minutes left. And so I can just take what I've got, take stock of what I've got, drag it to the edge with my bamboo skewer. Notice I'm going to have to fix the corner of that later. And as a little wave of paint goes over, so I have enough to cover. And since I can still see a little bit of canvas on this edge, it's not bothering me a bit to do that. Plus the agitated paint, if you can see down here, it makes cells. It makes me want to just do that all the way along with my skewer, because I can. And I'm not even sure I've ever done it all the way along with my skewer to cover the edge. But I don't really think it's a bad idea to try it. Seems like a really good idea to try it, actually. And I love the patterns that I've got up there, even if I stop right now, which is looking a lot like what could happen. So I should tell you guys that I do sell my artwork, and I do give classes at the studio in Spring Hill. I had one yesterday. We had an awesome time. Somebody was celebrating their birthday and gave themselves the present of some artwork, and a new friend has been made. So that's cool. Hi, Sally. Shout out to Sally. Sally and I had a great time. I think I'm going to, oh yes. Am I? Yes, I am. Wow. It just seems so risky at the time when I'm trying it on camera for the first time, but you know, it's just so worth knowing what's going to happen, and I have enough faith in myself that I'm willing to try anything to fix a mistake. And you guys, if you've watched my videos, there's over 725 of them. You can find them all on the end screens. And I'm making lists of 100 as I'm trying to make lists of 100 playlists. Anyway, I interrupted myself so thoroughly that I can't remember what I was saying. Oh well, it'll come back to me or it won't. And you'll forgive me or you won't. I do roll on. So I'm really enjoying using the skewer just to pull over that edge. And I have some paint over here already. And I'm just touching the edge of that. I'm pulling it toward the edge and expecting that if I'm fortunate, paint will heal paint. Because that black is very sheer. And the fact that it's covering it all is a miracle. And it's got a certain amount of shine to it, so it probably would show if I tried to cover it tomorrow. So the fact that there's a nice thick layer that's covering things up right now is a good thing. And I'm going to torch this. We torch to release the bubbles in the paint, and we torch to hopefully release some patterns. And if you noticed, I didn't overly tip my patterns, and I like it on the black background, by the way. And because of the GAC 800, I can leave my paint thick without worrying that it's going to crack. I may want to touch this up, these edges, as I go along. Sometimes the value packs from Michaels they're probably always from China, but sometimes I don't have a lot of faith in the primer being giving as good a coverage as I'd like it to, and other times I believe that it actually sort of kind of recedes from some of the paint, or the paint recedes from it, the primed part of the canvas. If I have to go back and recover things, I will, and if in a moment I decide I want to pull something through that, I will. What else do I want there? Anything? I kind of like all kinds of stuff. I got to be careful of that black background because it's not going to let me skewer unless I have quite a bit of paint. They remind me of oysters, so they're alien oysters. Alien oyster party. Maybe, maybe not. I'd really like a little more gold, and I've got a whole minute to decide that. And I think I'm really appreciating just using my skewer. Slide it in, let the paint that's on it fall over. And this is, like I said, this is my gold mica that I made the paint out of gold mica powder and just added some GAC 800 to it. And after I stirred that together and I had a good thickness of it, and I do mean thickness because I was trying to make it nice and thick, then I just add my regular, the rest of my recipe is below the video, by the way. The rest of my regular recipe is a half and half mixture of Floetrol and Deco Art pouring medium. And the thing I like the best about this mica is that it sells like crazy. So I'm liking those little shadows. I'm not so sure about that particular area. So maybe more is a good idea. And I can also just go in there with my spatula. I like to leave some paint on my spatula once in a while. I got 2 minutes left to talk to you guys about whatever I want. And what I usually want to talk to you about is the fact that I have Pinterest and Instagram at the bottom of the link underneath Show More, underneath the video. And I was mentioning that I have a contest every month, and that's for studio contributors who help me keep continuing on to paint. And I'm liking what I'm doing here. So thank you for joining me, by the way. There's over 71,000 of you. I'm well on my way to 72,000 actually right now as I speak to you. And I like the gold so much, I think I'm just going to give myself permission to ladle it on. And I want to make a little bit sure that I don't have so much other dark paint on my spatula that it won't interrupt. But I don't give up easily, and even though my camera shuts off after 20 minutes, I usually work a few more minutes afterwards if I need to, without coming back to make a whole nother movie. Anyway, so I love you guys. And I am going to go ahead, I think, right now, and torch until you check out the end screens for that contest if you want. Yes, I added a spiral, and I know everyone doesn't like them, but lots of people do, and I'm one of them. So, forgive me. You don't have to add spirals in yours. But I think they're cute. What can I say? I don't think they bother most people. I hope I'm right. Alright, so you're going to be gone, and this is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard, saying it doesn't matter if I turn this right side up because it could be right now. Alien Oyster Party, or something similar. I think that was fun. Thank you all for joining me. I probably have another minute. I forget. But then occasionally that minute's gone and I keep talking and you're not hearing me anymore, So do I want to do anything else before you're completely gone? I don't know. I kind of like all of that. My usual answer is to people needing to change things is to just do another one. And I've got a nice little ring pour cup, so I think that's probably the way it's going to go. I'll go around my edges and look for any place that might need a fingerful of that Anita's black metallic, which I definitely would remind you is sheer. And on another occasion I would probably just prime the canvas with it in advance a day before and then add another layer to let it move the wet paint. But it's an experiment worth having. I've never used it before all the way, and I love ring pours, especially doing them unconventionally, and this is definitely that. And I will see you guys anon. Hope to see you in another video. Bye for now. Priscilla out.